Okay, guys, after my trip to Miami, I thought I would do a video about the differences I saw with the type of shrimping that goes on in Miami, in the Miami River, and the type of shrimping that I do here in coastal Georgia. And the first thing is the obvious difference is these are wing nets that are used in Miami. It is a 8 foot wide by 4 foot deep frame,
Right.
and around that frame is stretched the netting material, and that material goes back into a it's like a sock.
There,
It
help
goes
me out right
back
there.
into a cod end, and that end of that net just kind of hangs on the rear corner of the boat, and it's very close to the boat. Now the Otter trawl system that we use in Georgia, this net drags along the bottom. It's opened with two Otter boards. These wooden devices here hanging off the outrigger. It has chains that attach them to the tow ropes. And these chains are set in a way to not only spread the net, but pull the net down towards the bottom. This net is drug along the bottom of the sandy beach areas here in Georgia. So the wing nets are fishing up top, and these Otter trawls are down on the bottom. A little bit more of a process to use the Otter trawl, as you have to stretch the net out behind the boat, get everything kind of lined up, and then deploy it. Now this net is pulled on my boat. It is 125 feet of tow rope. It's pulled behind the boat, and that is so that you have enough scope on the line to make sure that the net can get down to the bottom onto the sand. The wing nets, of course, are up top. Otter trawl is here on this boat is about 25 feet. Again, we're pulling about 16 feet wide or width of net on the wing nets down in Miami. There's not a lot of setting out, I should say, with the wing nets. Is pretty easy. You just stretch it out, put the boat in gear, and you're working. Here with the Otter trawl, it's got to kind of go out systematically to spool out and keep the net open at the same time. And a closer view of the Otter boards that spread the net. And there's a lot more drag on this net. There's a lot more material. Not only is you have the trawl itself, but the amount of webbing that makes up the Otter trawl is a good bit more than what's pulled on the wing nets. A few other differences there. Otter trawls typically would have to have a turtle excluder device. I don't have to because I'm using a hand retrieve net. Big difference. Another difference there down in Miami is all the shrimping's done at nighttime. You can kind of see that frame down in the water, and there's a lot of really good visibility. You can stand at the operator's helm here and look out, and you can actually see the net. The water's so clear in Miami versus the silt-filled areas that we have to work up here in Georgia. A lot of difference. You can see the difference in the color there, and this kind of gives you an idea of how far back the net is from the boat when we tow it. You're going to see a float back here that is at the center of this net. This is a tongue net that I'm pulling here, and that is the center part, and then off to both the right and left side would be the rest of the net and the doors. Now, in Miami, you're in close proximity to not only other vessels, but also structures. You're working in and out around these docks and boats that are tied up. And there are a lot of boats out working that area of the river. I think I counted 25 boats that were working in pretty close proximity. Where we tow, there's a lot more room between boats. You can see here there's really not a lot of other activity going on. We have fewer trawlers, and that just gives you there's more area. You have a safer area around your vessel. Now you're required to have more room to make turns and that kind of thing, being as the net's stretched out 125 feet behind you. But you can see it's a little more room back in the back. Now, getting the catch in on the wing nets was it's very quick, very simple. Simply, there's a line attached to the net. You pull it. Like I said, the rear of the net is attached right to the rear stern of the boat on both the port and starboard side. You undo that, swing it around, put it in your basket, and dump it. And that's it. It is that quick to empty the catch. And that's I don't know, maybe a 15 or 20 minute tow. Now on the Otter trawls, I'm pulling longer. You see those net going into a live tank on the boat. Those are how they pull it. Here again, you can see that visibility and see that frame down on the side of the boat. Now, as we kind of kept working here, we got a little more efficient, started getting the hang of the process and kind of understanding how this thing worked, and we started to get a little more efficient with it. We had an increased efficiency, and that led to better catches. And we actually looked like we knew what we were doing there in kind of a short order. Had a good coach that was down there with us, Fishman Joe. He was hosting us down in Miami, and this is actually his boat, one of his boats that we were working. Another thing, big difference is we have to color. We have a lot more bycatch than what the guys catch in Miami, and we have to kind of sort through this stuff to get the shrimp. Typically, that's the way I do it. I'll go through and I'll sort it, get the shrimp, and then separate it from the rest of the bycatch, and then head the shrimp. But you can see the amount of bycatch we had here on this day. And in Miami, it was very minimal, the amount of bycatch. And another neat thing about the boats down in Miami, you can look over and you can really see what you're catching. You can see the shrimp really going into the net. If there was any bycatch that was in the net, it was mainly seagrass and seaweed and that kind of thing. Our process is to head the shrimp, we'll wash them, and then they go on ice. Miami, you have a pump that's running, and it's pumping, recirculating fresh, I should say recirculating, it's putting fresh water into a tank, and those shrimp are going into the tank and they're held live on the boat. You can see that tank with that water being pumped in, and that's how the shrimp are kept in Miami. The end process is about the same. We're going to catch shrimp. We did in Miami. I think for a couple greenhorns, we were pretty successful in figuring it out, and we helped Joe out and got him some shrimp. He needed them. He got them. and we certainly learned a lot. It was very interesting looking at the two different ways shrimp are harvested between Miami and here. And yeah, here the ultimate goal of the process is to catch shrimp, and even I get lucky here sometimes. Well, hey, thanks for watching the video. Appreciate it. Leave us some comments. If you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. Let us know that you're here and want to see some more. But most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.